Good evening, everyone. It is May 21st, 2023. We've had an awesome rally on the Nasdaq after being unable to breach this kind of, what is that, 13,311-ish, that Q1 high. Unable to breach it pretty much all of April. It looked a little bit above and failed. And then all of May, kind of fiddling around with it for that first week. Started to turn around with it, turned it into support by the end of the week. And then we got our breakout this week way above, and most importantly, we have finally broken above this August swing high, which the ES is yet to do so. The ES is lagging by quite a bit. Really easy to see our major levels on this chart here. I'm watching this number here, this kind of 540-ish area. This is where we built volume on Monday and Tuesday. That's where we built that volume that fueled the breakout to another, whatever it is, 400 points or so higher. So a very, very bullish week on the NASDAQ. Now, for the third week in a row, amazingly, we held the prior week's VWAP close. That became the low of the week. That first week, whatever it was, I'm trying to struggle here. Yeah, we diddled around with it on a Thursday, moved up higher, did the same thing last week, whenever it was. I think it was somewhere around here. That was the VWAP close, moved up higher, and once again on Monday, pretty much hit it to the tick or so, maybe within 10 points of error, and then once again ramped up. So those average prices by participants every week are being defended extremely well and just moving on up to higher prices. This week we had opened above the prior week's first standard deviation of VWAP. We had also opened above the regular value area high from the week prior. It's just a very bullish open, holding that prior week's VWAP close and ramping on upwards. Tuesday getting an open drive upwards, Wednesday an open drive upwards, Thursday also getting an open drive upwards, ramping above that major swing high from August, and the Globex then continuing that ramp. Maybe I'll turn this on to the full external trading hours so you can see just this. We tag that VWAP close both Sunday during the overnight and then Monday as well. That prior week's VWAP close ramp up. Monday holds that Monday night holds those lows. Again, another ramp up. Wednesday, another ramp up. Wednesday night, hold the lows. Thursday, ramp up. Thursday night. Thursday night was the first time we faced some resistance and we sold down a bit. But overall, repeatedly holding these balances and repeatedly holding those VWAP closes. I think on the actual session-to-session basis, we weren't even tagging the daily VWAP closes the next session. We were just getting these open drives upwards. Friday, yeah, sure, we had that sort of sloppy trend downwards, as you can see, but that was just probably some OPEX tomfoolery, really not a terrible close. I do want to note that the weekly VWAP close is coming around half back. I want to note that we closed far above the prior week's high, closed far above the August swing high, and closed above, I think, the first, if not second, standard deviation of weekly VWAP. A very, very bullish week. Overall, the NASDAQ to me is looking extremely bad. It looks like what we're coming for is this over here. Let's pull that big chart up again. I think we're starting to look at these swing highs. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 swing highs around here. A lot of stops. There's a tiny little RTH gap that numerous times it failed to fill. So I think we're coming to around somewhere there. There's a monthly point of control somewhere in between there. What is that? 14,070, just a little bit above where we are right now. So I think we'll come to that 14,070. If we can clear that, I'd be looking at those balance highs, and if not a run of those highs, and then coming back below. So that's what I'm looking for on the NASDAQ. We did get a point of control shift at the end of the week, so maybe we did have some distribution. So maybe we do go ahead and travel back down to last week's VWAP close, wherever that is, if I can try and find it on my overly busy charts. Right around 13,650-ish. Right around here, right around the highs, just a little bit below that August swing high. So we can get back down to 650-ish and reclaim that August high. We're in business. on the weekly time frame, let's bring it down to a slightly lower time frame here. I'm overall pretty bid on this thing until we start breaking about 475-ish. The reason is pretty simple. Sorry, we got to keep going back and forth with these charts. We'll be back below these highs, back below that prior April 2022. These swing highs will be below there and below the August swing high, and to me that would indicate a failure for the breakout. Would still be above this Q1 high, so it'd be kind of in a decision point. Probably some churn here, probably some slower trade before we decide, are we going to break back below into this primary balance from Q2 so far, or are we going to break back above the Q1 high and start trying to reclaim those levels to the upside? So that's how I'm really looking at this thing. It's a combination of high time frame moves and low and more medium time frame moves. Overall, I wouldn't really want to be playing this thing on the short side until we start trading below that 13,500, and even then, I think really it just means you can start playing both sides. It means you can really you'd still be fine playing the long side, but you could also start playing some shorts with a little bit more aggression. I think until then, it'll be a little tough to be short. Even if we do have red days, I think these days are going to be filled with trap shorts. The Q3 95% value area high from last year, whatever that is, let me just try and find that on my chart over here. About 704, 705. This little zone here, we trapped a lot of shorts there on that Thursday session. That's where we churned in the morning, failed. We got the point of control to shift up there, and then we just kept bidding up higher. That's when we slammed through that 740 August swing high. It was because we trapped shorts there first at that 705-ish number. So I think there's going to be numerous situations going all the way down to 500-ish, pretty much this week's low, a little bit above it, where we're going to have trap shorts. So for the most part, I'd be looking to play this thing long. Don't really have much more to add to there. I think it's just important to get an idea of where we are trading relative to those high time frame levels. And, we're yet to get below this 500-ish area where we have those key balance high levels. Worked even in that August session. We had that nice sell, gave a nice bid on that same day we made the swing high for that half of the year. So as long as we're trading above here, it's hard to be too bearish, especially intraday. Once you start failing those, okay, we can start looking towards getting short. We can look to see if we're going to accept back inside this major Q2 balance thus far in the year. But until then, I think it's better off just playing it long. Hope that makes sense. Hope that helps. The NAS clearly being the source of the bid for ES. ES still lagging. I would be watching ES to see is it able to sustain 4135, 4163 to 69, 4188. Just keeping those numbers in the back of my head, seeing how we're responding to those, seeing if we can maintain a bid on those levels. If the ES starts to liquidate, the NAS is going to have a bit of a weight attached to it, a bit of an anchor. Hope that makes sense. Hope it helps. And daily videos will be out later tonight. Have a great night and trade safe.